Okay, apparently I don't know what the hell it is I do that makes my phone just automatically start recording, but it did again. So anyhow, we're still talking about, we're talking about private equity. Okay, so private equity has been buying into farms, farm fields, all kind of shit, and they claim it's for solar farming, which may or may not be the case, because I don't even know that I believe that. I don't think the super rich want us to have free energy. But, of course, they'd be collecting it and then charging us to use it, so possibly, I could see either way. But, thing is, they've been buying into, like, livestock farming and crop farming for some time now. And at the surface, it doesn't seem too crazy until you start thinking about it. And it's like, you know, if enough farmers sell out, especially as they're aging and there's not nearly as many new, younger farmers as there used to be way back when. Hell, there ain't even as many farms around. Like, this area in Northwest Indiana that I live in, and like over in Chicago, or like Chicagoland, I mean, it's not Chicago itself, that as well, but just the whole Chicagoland region. So, you go from like up by Wisconsin, and you go all the way around the city and back into Northwest Indiana up to the lake. Most of it used to be farms. And as time has won, just in my lifetime, I've seen towns that had farms that no longer exist because they've been shut down or bought out and built homes there. It's that. And ooh, shit, there's a cat for this damn thing. And so the sinister part of it all is if they manage to buy up enough, probably not even all, but enough farms, then they will be completely 100% in control of our entire food source. Now, for the most part, they control it anyways because they own the grocery stores, they own all the fucking places that collect the food together and then get it ready and distributed. So they own all that shit anyways, but now they'll actually own the source of it too. So that way they don't have to try to convince farmers to do something crazy if they want them to do something crazy, like put new pesticides and chemicals all over the food we fucking eat. Because make no mistake about it, they have been poisoning our food for a long time. Sorry, just got a text message. They've been poisoning our food for some time. And, I mean, there's one guy on here, I can't think of his name, but I need to find him and put him in the description or something on a comment or whatever, but this guy's been talking about how terrible all this shit is that we have in our food, like how bad it really is for us. And no wonder so many fucking sick, unhealthy people. I mean, first off, the more inactivity the Bilderbergs can get us to do, the lazier it makes people. The more tired it makes us, especially if we have to do something. It makes us, it's even more tiring to do something that once before it wasn't as tiring. Not just because you're getting older, but because, you know, the more they can get you to sit on your ass, the more that they can, like the lazier, more tired, and more worn out people become, the less healthy people become, and people who are lazy, unhealthy, inactive even, like, I say lazy not like a negative way, I mean that too, but just in general, like not doing shit. The lazier and the unhealthier that the Bilderbergs can make us, the less likely they are to have a revolution on their hands because people are too fucking tired by the time they get home. By the time they finish their fucking week, people are so exhausted that they don't feel like doing a shit. I don't feel like doing shit. We didn't get home this week, Monday through Friday. We didn't get home before, like, we left at about 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. Didn't get home until after 9 o'clock. I think one night we got home at 8:30. Still didn't get to bed till 11 o'clock. By the time I get home, get her settled in, I gotta clean the car out, so then just fucking, because our cars got broken into a couple years ago here, so I gotta clean everything out every night, and I get everything set up, get in the shower, get ready for bed. It's 11 o'clock or later every night. So from about 4:30, 4:45 until 11 p.m. That's from like leaving the house to going to sleep. And so when we got home on Friday night, it was still late because we stayed and had dinner and stayed in my mom's for a little bit. I was at yard to do. I know there's some reason we stuck around for a long period of time. So, yeah. By the time we got home Friday night, I ended up just sitting. I made the mistake of sitting down on the couch for a second. I knocked out. I didn't wake up till almost 3, 4 in the morning. Then I had to go take Ripley outside again. I still had to get in the shower. Had to do that. We didn't get to bed till like, it was daylight out before we went to bed. And then, was it all day yesterday? we were sitting on the couch most of the day, dude. I was just struggling to keep my eyes open because I'm so fucking tired for the whole week. To like even sleeping in late, it just didn't help because I went to bed so late, and just fucking exhausted, man. Sunday comes and then it's like I get a half a day to like actually like play with Ripley and do shit, and then try to get stuff done around the house that needs to be done because I'm too busy doing all kind of other shit during the week. Well, that was a locust. Oh yeah, that's a locust. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Oh my god, this fucker's trying to get up in our porch. Hold on. I don't like killing most things, but locusts, they can go. They land on the porch, they're gone. Giant spiders and house centipedes. I have no problem killing any of those things. Outside of that, if I catch a fly in the house, I'll try to let it go. Catch a small bug, even little fucking stink bug fuckers. Toss them outside. But anyways, this whole world's fucked. They're buying up all the food supply. They're buying up all the housing market. They own all the corporations already. And they're just finding more ways to just keep pulling more money and just sucking this fucking dry of money. I mean, if like the money equated to water, we'd be walking around all shriveled up as fuck because we'd be so dehydrated that it's a wonder we're still alive. But meanwhile, you got normal people like us struggling to put food on the fucking table. I mean, literally, just to put food on the fucking table. Thank God I don't have a family of like human kids. I got my cat and my dog. You know, they're my 4-legged babies. Even that's expensive. And Ripley's had no health issues. A couple of times I went to the vet because I wasn't sure what was going on with her, but apparently 2 of those times she was just in her heat cycle, was starting it. I've never had a dog that wasn't spayed. And it's still expensive. Food, all the stuff they need. Myself, thank God I don't eat very much. But I can imagine having a family, 2 or 3 kids, and trying to make it fucking work. With a mortgage, car payments, multiple car payments most likely, trying to work, and like, how do you spend time with your families? I mean, to begin with, it's fucking insane, but it has just amplified so fucking much in the last 5 years. It's insane. And all these videos I see of people talking about like, yeah, I'm not sure, something just ain't right. Like, life just doesn't seem the same anymore. It's because it's not. It's not. It's just, I think what happened was that COVID at least opened more people's eyes than were already open to begin with, which there weren't that many of us that fucking were seeing through all this shit to begin with. But then you get more people opening their eyes, and more people at least start to wonder and question some things. And people start to realize how much bullshit is really going on. You know, it still hasn't rained yet either. It's piss pouring right over there, but it has not hit us yet. And it's been like over half an hour, I think, since I came inside. So the more people start to realize what's going on, the less fun people are going to be having. Because as they're endlessly scrolling or watching mindless dribble on fucking the internet, that thought, that seed has been planted now, and it starts to bug them. And it makes things that they once found fun not as fun anymore, because they're starting to realize how much bullshit it really is. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we had enough people whose eyes were open due to COVID, but the Bilderbergs might have fucked themselves on that one, at least to some extent. But they're doing pretty good. I mean, they're still competing to see who can have the biggest fucking yacht. Meanwhile, we can barely fucking put food on our tables. How is it that all the wealth always seems to end up in the hands of either one or very few compared to the world population? Most of it is because they were doing it behind closed doors and doing it in secret. And most people didn't know. Most people trusted the government. Most people trusted, like, I've been trusting the government since I was a kid, dude. By the time I was getting out of high school, I was like, yeah, something is not quite right here. And the thing is, the world that we are heading towards while Biden was still in office, which I think is still coming, make no mistake, but the world we are seeing is the world I saw coming when I was, like, just getting out of high school. I have been trying to tell people about this for 25 fucking years. And nobody wanted to believe me because everyone was so enamored with their new technology that nobody cared. And once I learned the Bilderberg group and realized, yes, this is in fact an actual conspiracy. This ain't a conspiracy theory. There's a big difference between conspiracy and conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory is something that may or may not be the case, but a conspiracy is shit that's actually going on. And the Bilderbergs are actually fucking us. And they're apparently not content with just, the trillions they've taken already. Because it's like, one of the reasons why prices are going up so much too is because for some reason these corporations have made up their minds that if their bottom line either doesn't go up, if it just stays the same, or goes down in a particular year, then somehow that can't happen. So that's why they cut corners on cost. They cut cost of making the product, cost of the items they use to make the product, the cost of the labor on making the product. There's things designed to last a fraction of the time they used to be. Nobody is there to repair them anymore. You just throw it out and get a new one, and the cost is substantially going up at all times. So they're hitting us on like 5 or 6 fronts all at the same fucking time, but they've just really amped it up in the last few years. Now, on a side note, that does make me wonder if some major, what if a major like world-ending catastrophe was coming and they know about it? You know they're not going to tell us. They're not going to say a fucking word. Rest assured, you are not going to know until it's way too late to fucking do anything about it. If you're told at all, until you just see it fucking happen. And right now, like, if something like that happened, or if they kicked off a nuclear war, then all their money, all their fortunes, everything they own is fucking worthless. Generations of planning would then have turned into a fight to survive, even for the richest of rich. Now, what if they knew something was coming, and they're just that's why they don't care if they just keep jumping up prices so heavily on us, because they figure, all right, well, while money is still valuable, while it still has some kind of purpose, we're going to try to acquire as many resources as we can, get as much ready as we can for it. And if you notice, they got fucking bunkers built into mountains, dude. If some major catastrophe happens, the Bilderbergs are not going to be the ones dying in this shit. It'll be us. And what if they knew something was coming, and before it happened, they acquired as much shit as they possibly can, so that when it happens, they'll be ready to weather the storm, and the rest of us are just fucked. And then by the time they're done, guess what? Oh, here's AI. Because they don't need people to clear the fucking rubble and rebuild everything. Just have robots do it. So they may not need us. But in 2029, we're supposed to have an asteroid come so close to us that it's supposed to come closer to the Earth than our own, than at least a lot of our satellites. Okay, if we're gonna have an asteroid coming that close, that's like getting shot in the fucking forehead. It breaks the skin, maybe even fractures the bone, but just keeps on going, and you end up surviving and being fine. That's how close that is on a galactic or even a solar scale. I mean, that's literally getting shot and surviving. What if it isn't going to miss us? That's 4 years away. What if it's not going to miss us? They're not going to tell us, because if they told us, people would be panicking and preparing now and trying to be able to weather the storm. But they don't want people to weather the storm. They want themselves to weather it. And what if, because we already know that they have proposed ideas. They've already landed a fucking a lander on an asteroid, collected a sample from the asteroid, and brought it back home, okay? They've said that, world-ending asteroid attacks, or asteroid, that could hit the Earth and wipe out humanity and life on this planet, they could land a lander on it and give us just a subtle push by landing on it early enough, and just give it a little bit of a push to just kick it out of its orbit so it doesn't crash with the Earth. Well, what if they put a lander on this fucker and pushed it towards the Earth? What if it is, in fact, going to miss us, but they decide to just shove it just a little bit so that it does hit the fucking Earth? Likely? Probably not, but what the fuck are they preparing for? Why are they building these massive bunkers? And also, how many rich people have rocket companies to go up into space if necessary, so they can go underground or into space? And I heard that Bezos, who got his bunker in a mountain right there by his launch site. To me, that would say that, if shit hits the fan, they got one of two choices: go the fuck up into space and try to wait it out a little bit, or go into their bunker, or go into space and then go in the bunker, or something. I don't know, who fucking knows, or vice versa if necessary. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? But that's just a side note that I've been thinking about the last few days, is like, what if something major is coming? That's why they don't give a fuck if their companies go under from charging people so much that we just can't afford to pay for the shit no more and quit buying it. And maybe that's why they're, trying to really nail us to the wall now, so we can't run if something major happens. That's something to think about. And you heard it here first. I'm just telling you. Knowing the Bilderbergs like I have gotten to know them over the last 21 years, I wouldn't be surprised at all. At all. And something I missed on the 9/11 thing. Now, you had the CIA knew about Bin Laden, knew he was going to plan an attack, most likely going to involve commercial jetliners, okay? For years, they were watching him and his people. They watched him recruit the people. They watched the people he recruited start bouncing all different countries all over the world for like a year or two just to try to hide their trail from where they came from. They knew when they came into America. They knew when they attended flight school. They knew this shit was coming, and they didn't fucking stop it. So even if the Bilderbergs didn't go out and initially create it themselves, now you could argue that, you know, Bin Laden decided to attack America because of the attacks on his homeland when he was a kid, you know. So that was Bilderberg shit, waging fucking pointless wars for profit back then. So, you know, well, depending on how you look at it, it can still be their fault anyways. But I wouldn't be put it past them if they approached him. Even had someone who was, I believe he was Muslim, someone who looks like him, believes like him, whatever, who just to approach him and to convince him to do this. I would not put it past the Bilderbergs to initiate this whole idea to begin with. Now, that unsuccessful bombing in the 90s, what if that unsuccessful part was not because like the government saved the day or some shit? What if the government's plan, the Bilderbergs' plan to blow it up to begin with just failed, and then they had to come up with something new? Something to think about. Now, these are the parts that are theories, like this kind of stuff, but I know the Bilderbergs well enough. For 21 fucking years now, I've been studying these fuckers, and I would be surprised if they didn't do something like that. That's how diabolical and shicey the Bilderbergs are, okay? Now, ooh, that was a big fucking bolt of lightning. No thunder. That was weird. That was a big fucking solid flash like 3 or 4 times. So they knew when they were here. They knew when they were attending flight school. They knew all of it, dude. And they never said a word. The FBI, there's the thunder, but that bolt was a lot closer than that. I mean, cycle the way that was. But they knew when all this shit was going on. They knew it. So whether they initiated Bin Laden, like got him to initiate the attacks themselves, or if it was his plan and they just let it happen, they knew and they let it happen. They make no fucking mistakes about it. They knew it was coming and they let it happen. Now, the FBI, the CIA never communicated with the FBI. The only way that would happen is if it was by design. The FBI knew about these people too. Nothing was done, man. Nothing. They just let them kill a few thousand people. Like it was not, nope, now we're getting rain. Just let them kill a few thousand people like, you know, it's just, their lives don't matter. Oh well. Because to them, our lives don't matter. Even like lower ranking rich people's lives don't matter to them. But if you notice that when the attacks happened too, where was Bush Jr. at the time? Can anybody remember? I do. I also saw the clips again recently, so I don't know. I would have probably remembered this given enough time, but I was reminded that he was at an elementary school for inner city underprivileged youth, reading stories to a bunch of kids. I'm willing to bet never before or after that time did he ever go to any fucking schools anywhere ever. Yet there he was, and when you get the news, when he gets that news and you see the guy walk over and whisper something in his ear, the look on his eyes wasn't fear. If you watch that fucking video, I'm telling you, I could read eyes like they're fucking books, dude. His eyes were the look of excitement. Like, oh shit, it's really here, it's really happening. Like he's excited because now they can start passing all kind of other shit and he can do more what the Bilderbergs want to do. And as far as the Bilderbergs go, I don't know. Maybe there's one person at the top. Maybe there's one, the richest of the rich is at the top and we just don't know who he is, or I wouldn't put it past the devil himself to be the one running the shit right there. Because the Bilderbergs are evil as fuck, dude. Make no mistake about it. Philanthropy is a fucking joke. It's also they can basically just pretend to donate money. They get almost all of it back anyways. And so people like Bill Gates can do experimental testing on kids in Africa, you know? Like that's the last thing you need is this fucking asshole going over there shoving fucking needles of God only knows what into him. I'm sure that does not help anything. And I don't know, man. I've had my eyes open for a long time, so I've been watching everything as it happens. Everything that happens, except for possibly natural disasters. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past the Bilderbergs to be causing natural disasters. For all I know, they might be able to manipulate the fucking weather. Because I saw in the early 2000s, I saw a guy who had supposedly, on History Channel, in a documentary, and this is like on fucking television, this guy was saying that he had supposedly worked at Area 51 for a long time. And he retired from there. And he's like, I can't say anything. He goes, all I'll tell you is if you've ever seen it in television or movies, they're at least 50 years beyond it already. And that was 25 years ago, roughly 20 to 25 years ago. Think about that shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if they can control the weather and cause catastrophes. Shit, look at the fucking fires in California. No water in the fucking reserves, turn the hydrants on, nothing comes out. All the fucking brush in there that should have been cleaned up years ago just never gets touched. I'm willing to bet somebody sparks those fires themselves. Cigarette, throw it out. Because it's illegal to even throw a cigarette out your window because of the fires. And yet, they happen every fucking year now. Every year. And the fact that there was no water to put it out tells me flat out, without a doubt, that's by design. But because I know the Bilderbergs and what they do and how they are, and I have come to know them very well from learning about them, that that's by design, man. That doesn't just happen to fucking happen, man. Newsom's one of their little bitches. He's not one of them, I'm sure, but he's one of their cronies, because they're like the super rich, but they have just chains of fucking cronies, and I'm sure he's one of them. That's why, as he's standing there on camera with fucking a house burning behind him, he's sitting there talking like, like this excited look, smiling like, we got prospectors coming in, coming to buy up the land, and like they probably burn the rich people's houses because they're not like rich enough to be Bilderbergs, so they burn their homes so they can fucking buy the land up for cheap and put some other super exclusive, super rich thing in there, like they've done in Montana. Take out and buy up all these homes, there's big area of land, and build a fucking golf club and a country club that's so exclusive it's by invitation only. Only, that's it. If you're not invited, you can't go there. And because of shit like that, that's what's just driving up the cost of housing all over, plus their giant apartment buildings that they buy or build and just run them for shit. Now, they'll collect the money on time, but good luck getting something fixed that's broken. Or having any kind of decency about, from your renter, if you're renting from the Bilderbergs anyways, But because of that, and they jack the cost of it up, all the housing goes up, and you get more and more homeless people all over the fucking country. Why is that? Because the Bilderbergs are buying up all their fucking homes and leaving them with shit in return, and then whoever can't afford it are getting charged even insanely more just to either rent or buy. So every problem in this world right now is Bilderberg real. It's because of their actions. That's why. Everything you see, man. The reason that certain countries are still underdeveloped and other ones aren't, that's all their plan. All of it, dude. They are just running the fucking world. And people don't realize, like, they say we'll have a one world government one day before the end of the world. Well, if you have a group of like 150 to 250 people that are literally making all the decisions about how the world's being ran, that's a one world government, man. It's not in the sense that we traditionally know it. Like, well, it doesn't have this, and there's no election process, and there's no... It doesn't matter. It's a governing body that rules the fucking world. That's a one world government. We've had it for 71 fucking years now. The leaders of the bigger countries like U.S., England, or UK, whatever, France, that they all report back. Russia, China, they're all reporting back because they're following their orders that they're given. And, I don't know, man. Everything you see, every problem is Bilderbergs. It's all because of their actions. And it's intentional. That's what I mean. It's not a broken system. The system's working exactly as it's supposed to fucking function. Exactly. Make no mistake about it, man. There's nothing broken in this system. It's going exactly as they planned it. They just planned a fucked up system intentionally to fuck us and to keep us from uniting and to keep us stupid and lazy and wasting as much more time as possible and broke as possible. Finding out that the government, the CIA, was running drugs. Well, I bet the FBI is too. I'm sure FBI, Homeland Security, any government agency can be fucking selling drugs. I guarantee it. Most of our drugs probably don't even come from fucking cartels. And by the way, whatever happened to that, Trump? First saying we're gonna declare them domestic terrorists or not domestic terrorists, whatever, fuck, declare them terrorists. Ain't heard shit about it. I saw a video on YouTube saying, well, we were gonna go help, but whoever's in charge of Mexico, she has to prove it. That's not what you said. You said you're gonna just go fucking take these guys out. But then you probably found out that the people doing it are the fucking U.S. government agencies or the fucking cartels. And the people that, the crazy fuckers with machine guns that guard these fields are just being paid by the government, most likely. He's like, oh, can't do that now. He heard shit about it. He's like, yeah, well, if she wants to help, we'll help. But, she doesn't want, probably because she's afraid for her fucking life, because she probably is not a Bilderberg member. So, yeah, she's probably afraid of getting fucking tortured and murdered and her family being slaughtered. So, of course, she ain't gonna ask for fucking help. But when he was running for president, he didn't say shit about anyone asking us for help. He said, we're going to go do. Where's cartel members at, bud? Still operating as far as I know. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Find out that they're selling drugs to fund illegal coups in different countries they're trying to take over. That doesn't surprise me at all. That's exactly what I expected from Bilderberg. I expect nothing less than shit like that. And you have to think, the most diabolical shit you can think of is probably, kids play compared to the kind of shit that they've done in this world. And, you probably tell the Bilderbergs, yeah, I figured y'all were doing this. They'd probably be like, oh, isn't that cute? Yeah, no, we're way more fucked up than that, bud. Trust us. We're just ruining the whole world for everybody. Except themselves. And if you're fortunate enough, blessed enough to be talented in a sport or in singing or in playing an instrument or acting or whatever, and these days the standards have just significantly fucking dropped from back in the day on all fronts anyways, except for athletes. Athletes seem to be getting better and better as time goes on because of all the fucking steroids. But hey, I ain't knocking that shit. I do enjoy me some sports. That's one thing that I waste a lot of my time with is sports. But yeah, it's very much non-productive too. I try at least make my wasting of time something where I can sit and talk about something. But so is most people. People that play video games all day, instead of doing something productive to better their life, can talk a lot about video games. So either way, I still waste a lot of hours watching football or soccer. Sorry. But yeah, so this is the world that we're living in, man. And now they're going to be militarizing space. Elon's just sending fucking satellites after satellites after satellites. I don't trust the fucking guy, man. I'm sorry for those that do, but I don't trust him. I've heard he's putting shit up in space for the government too. Has anyone ever heard of the so-called rod from God? About a satellite that has these large tungsten rods. I believe it's tungsten. And all they do is hit a button, hatch opens up, here comes a big fucking metal rod, no propellant whatsoever. They just use the Earth's gravity and just suck that fucker towards the Earth as fast as possible. And when it hits, and since it's streamlined, it's like a fucking pencil going straight down, it's going to pick up some serious speed. I mean, it's going to be going faster than the speed of sound, most likely, by the time it hits the ground. And I believe they said that they're the explosion from that would be bigger than the biggest atomic bomb, the Tsar Bomba, that's ever been fucking set off. And they would need no propellants for it. How do we know they're not putting that shit up in space right now? That way they can just start wiping out major metropolitan areas or areas that they want to take over, and then the next day there's no radiation, fucking either have a crew or have robots moving in, fucking clearing the rubble. That's some fucking terrifying shit, man. That's a way to get people to stop fucking fighting back. Because once they have shit like that, it's like, oh, Chicagoland, we're hearing a lot of chatter about people not liking what we're doing, huh? Let me see. Chicago. G27. Boop. Boom. Everybody's dead. You think anybody around in any other parts of the world are going to go, hey, you know what? We should start talking some shit against the super rich in the government too. All they'll need is one time. One fucking major explosion like that. Oops, it slipped. We didn't know. Oh no, it's not intentional. No, just that area is where most of the descent was coming from. No, just so happened to happen. Nothing is coincidence. That's what people need to understand. Coincidence is not real. Nothing happens by coincidence. It's by someone's design. It could be the Bilderberg's design. It could be God's design. But there is no such thing as coincidence. That's something that people need to get the fuck out of their heads real quick, because nothing is coincidence, no matter what it is. So, you know, it's like, who knows what the fuck's been going on? Like, I often wonder why we never went back to space. I'm at the point now where I don't even honestly know if I believe we even went to the moon. I wanted to believe it. I feel like a conspiracy theory nut more for even leaning that direction, but that's what they want people to think. Oh, people that tell you things that are either true or most likely true, yeah, they're nutty. Give them a tinfoil hat, tell them have a nice day, and just don't listen to anything they say. Ever. Don't listen to them. Listen to us. Trust us. We know what's real. They don't know. You know? And it works. Look at Alex Jones. Dude, Alex Jones was talking about these fucked up pedophile rings years before you heard anything about Epstein. He's been talking about it for fucking years, dude. And guess what? He was right. We all know he was right now. So, maybe he's not that crazy after all. I think the dude's got so much shit in his mind and so much he's trying to get out at once that he just can't quite get it out without looking like he's crazy. But because of that, people think he actually is crazy and think he has nothing valuable to say. I remember talking about the COVID shit. Oh, about the Bilderbergs to somebody before, and I just mentioned Alex Jones' name, and she was like, oh, no, anything involved with him, can't be true. No, he's psycho, this dude's crazy, he don't know. Really? He's been trying to tell people about these pedophile rings for a long time, and now there's been 2 of them, 2 that have been busted. And that's just the ones that have been busted. Now, that whole thing's another fucked up that's a whole fucked up thing in itself, because that's the kind of sick shit that the super rich do too. And most people don't think about it because it wasn't their child that was taken, or them that was taken, you know? So they don't think about this kind of shit. Do you know why it is that white people who go to jail for sexual crimes, be it rape, child molestation, or anything else, do you ever notice that they're not really in prison very long, and they're right back out on the streets, and that they don't really get in that much trouble? And when they're in prison, they're put in protective custody, so the fucking other inmates that all the stories that you hear about the inmates just killing child molesters and shit, it doesn't happen no more because they're put in protective fucking custody. Why? I don't know. No, I do know. That's what I'm getting to, but for a long time, I'm like, why the fuck do they protect these fucking sick fucks and then turn them loose on people again right there in the future? Damn. Should have flashed that one, showed on the camera. There's something else I was going to say, too. I used to date a girl years ago, and she had 2 kids, and we lived kind of close to a park. And so one day we were like, you know what, let's just look and see how many sex offenders live in that. Dude, they're fucking everywhere, man. Oh my god. Right next to the park where they're not supposed to live, right next to the school they're not supposed to live, there were like fucking pings all over the fucking place. I mean, the majority of houses weren't, but dude, anybody, I tell you, go on the fucking online and go and see how many registered sex offenders live near you. I'm willing to bet there's a lot more than you expect. Dude, we couldn't believe it, man. There was like 20 or 30 just within like a few miles of us, dude. Needless to say, we didn't let our kids go to the park by themselves anymore. And, but the reason why people who do that kind of shit get slapped on the wrist, get put in jail for a year or 2 in protective custody and then get turned loose out of the public again. Oh God, this might be an insurance company. Is because that's what the Bilderbergs are into. They're into that sick shit, so they don't punish people for it. But people get caught with drugs and they spend their life in fucking prison. I have to answer this call. I'll have to make a part 3.